Hello, my dear friends. Hello, my dear listeners. How are you all? I hope you are doing your best to serve your duties with utmost honesty and love. So, let's proceed with the new part of our journey, which we are going through the life of our master Sri Ramakrishna Paramhansa Dev. And today we are going to proceed further in the new chapter, which we have already started in the last episode, where we came to know that Manomohan, Mitra, and Ramchandra Datta, these two brothers, cousin brothers, they have been introduced, or rather I must say they were the first two disciples who came to Sri Ramakrishna Paramhansa Dev. So let's proceed with the next part, right? So that we can understand what other incidents took place in their lives and um, how they tested the Amrit, I must say, the nectar of uh, eternity, right? So let's proceed. One day, in response to the master's proposal, Manomohan arranged for such a festival in his house. And his Brahmo followers were invited. It was an edifying scene. The devotees commenced a Sankirtan in which Sri Ramakrishna joined. Now and then he fell into samadhi. The devotees wept or laughed as they were swayed by varying emotions. After the Sankirtan, they sat with the master, and the evening was spent in religious discussion. After supper, the party dispersed. Manomohan was proud of his devotion. One day, before a large audience, Sri Ramakrishna praised Suresh, one of the devotees, saying, "Look at Suresh. His devotion is peerless." This offended Manomohan, who resolved not to come thenceforth to Dakshineshwar. As he was a regular Sunday visitor, his absence was noticed by the master. He asked Ramchandra about it. The latter was not able to account for it, and Sri Ramakrishna told him to make inquiries and report. Ram found his cousin in good health and sent the news to Dakshineshwar. The master at once sent for Manomohan, and the summons was disregarded. "Be happy with your devotees. I am nobody." Manomohan apostrophized himself. The more he thought over the matter, the angrier he became with Sri Ramakrishna. The master sent him invitation after invitation, but Manomohan declined them all. In his stubborn determination to avoid Sri emissaries, he moved to Konnagar, a few miles from Calcutta, taking the train daily to his office. Curiously enough, he put all the blame on Sri Ramakrishna, but he had no peace. The more he tried to banish all thoughts of Sri Ramakrishna, the greater became his mental turmoil. It became impossible for him to attain to business. Try as he would, he could not fix his mind on his work. It instinctively turned to Dakshineshwar. In despair, he was forced to acknowledge that Sri Ramakrishna possessed his whole heart. One day, as he went to bathe in the Ganges, he remembered the words the Master had said in praise of its sanctity. Instantly, there stood before his mind's eye the serene figure of Sri Ramakrishna, vivid as ever. He made a supreme effort to banish it from his mind. At that moment, his eyes fell upon a country boat not far from him. He saw in it a familiar figure talking with someone and pointing towards him. The second person in the boat was no other than Sri Ramakrishna with Niranjan. Manomohan gave a start. Niranjan said, "Why don't you come to Dakshineshwar? Sri Ramakrishna is so anxious about you that he has come to see you." It was a hot day and Sri Ramakrishna was fanning himself. As he approached Manomohan, he fell into a trance. Manomohan mutely watched the scene as the tears rolled from his eyes. Ah, he has taken so much trouble for my sake. How greatly I must have wronged him, he thought. Overwhelmed with emotion, he was about to fall when Niranjan jumped from the boat and caught him. By this time, Sri Ramakrishna has regained normal consciousness and asked Niranjan to bring Manomohan on board. Then he tenderly said, "Manomohan, I have been very anxious about you and I have come for you." Manomohan prostrated himself before him and said, "Sir, it was all due to my wounded vanity." He could say no more and sobbed like a child. Sri Ramakrishna again plunged into samadhi as the boat made its way towards Dakshineshwar. So, my dear friends, today I am stopping here so that we can understand where our false vanity, or I must say our ego, is coming in between a pure love or a pure relation. We must give our mind that openness so that we can recognize all those things, all those negativity. Actually, in God's realm, there is no positivity or negativity. It is only, I rather say, perspective, point of view, which makes one thing right, another thing wrong. So, my dear friends, today I am stopping here. In the next episode, we will proceed further to see what happened next to these two cousin brothers. So, till then, be happy, be jolly. Shubhamastu.